Time to move on to the very last and probably most challenging part of the query that we're writing out here to find a big list of different artists. So this is where we're going to start adding in some implementation for searching for a very particular artist based on their name. To add in this additional query, we're going to add in another if statement inside of our build query function. So inside of here, we'll look at our criteria object, and if a name has been specified by the user, we will update the query object to accommodate for that. We're going to do so by adding on some additional properties to the query object, just like we were doing previously. But the question is, this time, how do we do a text search? We are searching by a name here, right? Now in the past, we've done things like user.find name of Joe, right? But this was a full text, or this was a exact text string search right here. So we were specifically looking for a user with the name exactly equal to Joe. But that's probably not the experience that we want to have here. We probably want to make sure that users have the ability to search for like just the word Don, right? Not Don Copeland, or just Hazel, not Hazel Nolan, and not Nolan, but you get the idea. We want to give users a little bit of flexibility in how they search for content out of all of our big list of users. So rather than using this very generic fashion right here, we're going to do a little bit more complicated search. To start off, I'm going to pull up my documentation for Mongo query operators that we've been looking at. So remember, we got here by doing a search at Google for Mongo operator or Mongo query operator, either one. And then we went to this page and we were looking at some of the documentation around greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Remember, we have also previously used the in operator from here as well. So these are all about operators to do some kind of advanced comparison or querying inside of our MongoDB collection. Now there's one very particular operator that we can find by scrolling down a little bit. So I'm going to go down past the logical, past element, and all the way to evaluation. So you'll notice that inside of evaluation, there's one operator in here called text. Description is performs text search. Well, hot dog, that sure sounds like it's relevant to what we're trying to do, right? Let's check out the documentation for search and see exactly how it works. Now, rather than reading maybe all this documentation, let's just throw some code into our project and let's just see what happens, right? Let's just see what happens. I want to very specifically just ignore all the documentation. I want to go straight to the examples. Okay, search for a single word. Yep, looks great. Okay, we'll take our collection, text, search, and then the string we're looking for. Hot dog, let's give it a shot. Okay. So I'm going to very purposefully ignore all the documentation. We're going to say criteria.text equals search, and then the text that we are searching for, which will be criteria.name. So if I look back over just to verify, yep, text, and then search, and then the string we're looking for. So we add on a text property to, not criteria right here, this should be query, my mistake. So we add on a text property to query, and then that's going to be an object with search and criteria.name. Okay, yeah, whatever, looks good, let's give this a shot. So I'll flip over to our app, let's refresh it. Wait for that long refresh. Okay, so let's add in a name here. Now I want to add in a name that is like nearly identical to one of my artists. So I'm going to use specifically capital D Don. So I encourage you to use like a very particular artist name with the correct capitalization. So let's do a search. We'll hit submit and oh, well that's definitely not good. I got a nice big error message over here. It says text index required for text query. Text indexed. Well, who knows what that is? Let's take a quick break, come back to the next section, and figure out exactly what indexes or indices inside of Mongo are. So we'll see you in just a second, and we'll get this bug figured out.